But I have the other ones available in there. But
So, Luke, what are you drinking today? Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
Going to be the bow after that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Ojo! I learned my lesson from last time. What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drink imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day?
I'm going to do you a favor, James. As you say, later.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like some of our draw streams, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Man, I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Bam! Yes! Yes, guys, there we are. It is Sunday, guys. It is Sunday. You know what that means. That means another episode of A Drink with a Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their hopes and their dreams and their lives, but also their creations, their comics and their video games and their novels and whatever they make. Because, guys, I'm kind of bored with mainstream. Mainstream kind of sucks. And indie, guys, is where their passion is. All right. I hope your weekend is fantastic and your Sunday is nice and relaxed. I've been working today, of course. I need to do something, so might as well write something, create something. And I worked on my fantasy tale. Like I'm building the world and creating new characters. I created a brand new character today for the fantasy series. I wasn't planning it, but it just happened. It just happened, and he already is one of my favorite characters. He's fantastic. So, so that's going on. Meanwhile, we are we have the the campaign, the Kickstarter campaign for Safeguard in pre-launch stage. So you can sign up to that. The link is below, guys. I'm making this Safeguard book together with Alan Goldman, right? If you like superhero stuff, this is classic 90s superheroes, only with a fantastic story, right? Let's see. The Perfection Collection can go to the printer anytime. So I hope to update you guys this week about that. So, all right, guys. Let's see who's with us in the chat today. It's Mike. Mike is with us. Hello, Mike. He says, I see the young chop-sucking boy in the thumbnail shopped at the same motorcycle jacket dealer as the bride in Tarantino's Kill Bill. Wow. Maybe that's a coincidence. Maybe it isn't. Yes. Welcome, Mike. Nice to see you. Welcome. And welcome, Nam FC2. Welcome, Nam, saying, hey, Dave, have a great show, mate. Thank you so much. I hope you stick around. And if not, maybe hi from the replay. So thank you so much for dropping by. Darius Artist. Hey, Darius Artist. Welcome, sir. Happy summer. Yes, it's warm today, man. It's warm. It's crazy. Yes. So welcome, Darius Artist. Wonderful artist. Darius Artist. And we have Art Hida in the chat. Hail, Brink and chat. What are you all up to this fine morning? I'm pouring some coffee and reading The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for the first time. Really? That is cool. That's a classic, man. That's a classic. Enjoy. And Mike says, another week and good drink to you, Dave. Cheers. It's summer-y, and I'm just drinking water. Yes. Let us know what you're drinking in the chat, guys. Water is always good. And Pops from the Madness Entertainment Group is with us. Hi, Pops. Guys, we are broadcasting through the Madness Entertainment Group, so multiple channels. Thanks to Pops. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, guys. It is time for the guest of the hour. So, I can't believe it. It's been 4 years since this guest has been on my show. I can't believe it either. I'm doing the show for a long time, and he was like 4 years ago. I was like, I talked to him last year or something. Time flies, guys, when you're making shows and making comics and doing creative stuff and talking with you good people. So let's bring him on. It's been too long, so let's see how it is with the good man. Wait, do I have everything set up? Yes, I'm ready. All right, guys, you ready? I'm ready. Everyone ready? May I have a very warm welcome for the guest of the hour, Mr. Julius Freeman.
Woo! Man, I'm pumped.
Wow.
What an intro.
There he is.
Hello, everyone. Hello, chat. How you guys doing? Hope you guys having a good Sunday. Better than mine, hopefully.
Welcome, says Mike. Applause, says Crenshaw. Nice to see you, Crenshaw.
What's up, Crenshaw?
Yes. It's been 4 years, man.
4 years, man. I believe it, dude. I believe when you've been in this game long enough, time always flies because you got your everyday life, right? And then you got your comic book projects, and then you're kind of juggling both and trying to do the content creation, trying to do the live stream spots, and it eventually just gets to the point where like, whoa, has it already been 3 or 4 years since then? Holy crap. So yeah, yes. I believe it, man. I believe it.
Yeah, it's crazy when you're making this comic book, right? You have backers, lovely backers, and customers, and yes. So they purchase the book, they back the book, right? And you're working on the book, and you don't often realize how much time it takes for people to wait for the book because you're constantly working on it. So for you, it's a constant thing, but for backers, like what's happening with the book, right?
Yeah,
so, yes.
That's the challenge. I think that's the biggest challenge that a lot of indie creators like ourselves we have to face is that and I don't know about Europe, but in America, right? We're conditioned to expect the book every month, right? You go to your local comic shop, you see your favorite floppy series, you pick it up and you read it. You're like, oh, this is amazing. You know for a fact you're going to come next month and get the next installment of that story. Whereas indie creators, we don't have those resources. We can't do monthly releases. We would like to, right? I think ideally we all would like to release monthly books, but we can't because the corporate overlords in the publishing in the industry, they have the resources, marketing, promoting, and all that stuff, where we have to kind of work a little harder for that.
This is true, man. This is true. But this makes our comics extra special. Right?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Okay, before we continue with whatever the conversation is going to be, I need to ask you the question: Julius, what are you drinking right now?
I'm just drinking water, man. It's too early. Usually I do sip on whiskey, but that's at nighttime. And since it's 11 o'clock in Pacific Coast time, so it's a little too early for whiskey. So it's just water for me. I had a glass coffee.
What's your time you start with the whiskey?
Oh, usually after 5 o'clock in the evening. Okay. Sit back, put some, ice, pour some whiskey straight, and just sip for the rest of the night. It's kind of nice.
There you go. Artida says, I stopped buying floppies a decade ago. Only recently started going back for some image books.
Great. That's great. Yeah. I mean, it has to be worth it because now with $5 a pop, maybe sometimes $6, depending, it's kind of hard to kind of go, Do I want to keep reading this? Spend $6 a month, or not just for one book, but there's maybe multiple books.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, good on you, man. I hope those are worth it. Those image books.
Suddenly these indie comic book prices don't seem that strange anymore. Like we saw the book for $10, maybe $15 or something, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Hey, welcome, Gordon Goodbrother. Nice to see you, sir. Welcome. We're talking today with Julius Freeman. All right, Julius, what's happening? What's going on? What are you creating? Let's just start. Let's assume that there are people watching right now who never heard of Julius Freeman before. So can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Julius Freeman, and I'm an indie comic book creator. I've been doing this for about 15 years now. And again, it's a passion. It's a love for the medium, and as much as the obstacles that I have to face over the 15 years of trying to make my own books, the great thing about it, the upside to it, is that it's 100% me. There's no editorial. There's no one telling me I can't do it. I'm not waiting for permission. I'm just doing it. I believe in the story I wrote. I saved my money, made a budget, and then found an artist, and I've been doing that for 15 years. So thankfully, I've had a relatively good success with a few crowdfunding books that now we're able to affording me to complete the stories in the books and fulfilled, to the backers. And now I'm just focused on trying to get those books out to more readers and new readers who may have not heard of me, who may have missed the crowdfunding campaigns that I launched a few years back. And that's what I've been doing since when they came back. I had a hiatus for the first half of 2026 because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do going forward after the failed crowdfunding campaign of Ghetto Dragon that I think I launched back in
it failed?
November. Yeah, it failed. But again, it's no one's fault but my own, because I didn't do my due diligence of doing the prep work before the launch. You know how you have to there's a massive prep work that you have to do before you launch the campaign, and I didn't do that. And that's because I have 2 kids, I have a day job, and a lot of stuff's going on there behind the scenes there. And there's a lot of things, a lot of factors at play that I didn't take into account, which is why I decided, okay, I need to change my strategy here, my approach, because it's not working for me. It may be working for other people, but for me, it wasn't working. So I had to change the strategy. And then I went from, okay, I can either sprinting meaning that's what a crowdfunding campaign is. You got to sprint, right? You got to get on the shows. You got to promote for 30, 35, 60 days, whatever. Right. Full, right? Like full on, like just flash speed, just. Or I could jog in a marathon, which is what I'm doing now with the online store. Because with the online store, there's no stretch goals. There's no, I need to hit this goal. It's more, the book is done. It's ready. It's just, you guys can order it and you guys will get it. I'm going to start fulfilling this week, actually. So right now it's in pre-order with the Asset 13 book. And then I'm going to start shipping them out from now until probably the end of June. Once I run out of the inventory, then I'm going to, again, change it up a bit and introduce more books and so on and so forth going forward.
Okay, so this means that your latest book is circumventing the crowdfunding phase.
Yes, because I thought about crowdfunding it before, and then something just kept nagging at me, right? I was like, well, why would you want to crowdfund this book when it's already done? Why would you do that? And of course, I spoke to a few colleagues and friends of mine that I've gained on social media. And they suggested, it could be for coloring the book, it could be for this, it could be for that. And I just didn't want to do the whole, I don't want to have the backers wait 2 or 3 months for their book. I want them to get it now. If I have it, why not just give it to them as soon as possible? And so that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to go full on black and white, poor man's, indie comics approach. And then hopefully if the traction starts to grow, then I'll be able to invest in the colorist and so on and so forth. So
wow, yeah. Look, man, well, you don't need to do crowdfunding campaigns. Don't do it because it's exhausting.
Very, very.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But worth it though. It's worth it if you hit your goal. You know, if you hit your goal, great. You know, then you got a lot to work with.
But is this now your strategy going forward, or will you go back to crowdfunding eventually?
Eventually I will, but it's going to be for something that's worth it, worth the sprint. You know, because right now I like the jog. Right now I like what I'm doing right now. Right now I'm on your show.
Yeah.
There's no pressure for me to get on your show right away because there's no the campaign will be done by the time, you know, I'm on your show, you know, that kind of deal. Now I could just promote my online store because I'll be adding more books. But yeah,
Right.
crowdfunding is not out of the question. I'm still going to do it. I'm not, it's, I've now, I guess, realized I'm going to approach it more like a tool than a dependency that I did when I first started doing crowdfunding.
Right. Sure. Right. We're going to look at your store, but I'm curious about one thing is you decided to make comics and so, but why specifically comics? Why not like novels or something else? But you settled on making comic book. What's about comics that attracts you?
The freedom, simply put, the creative freedom to have it. I have a very high active imagination, as I'm sure you do, and every writer who approaches this medium. And so I thought, okay, well, I studied film in college. I did write a few short stories, you know, long form wise, traditional, you know, long form short stories and I guess short novels. But I realized I'm not really a wordsmith. It's harder for me to write, you know, that kind of style. And then screenplays or whatever, there's all these factors at play, right? There's the director, there's the actors, there's, you know, things that happen that changes your vision when you write a screenplay. And then of course the budget is way larger to make something of that nature. And so with comics, it was just simply the idea of like, if I could just find the right artist to draw this story, we can make magic and we can do all sorts of cool stuff with this medium. Sequentials, maybe camera angles, that kind of thing. And also, it's the best medium, in my opinion, the best storytelling medium that's offered to storytellers. And I know movies and TV shows are big and huge and mainstream, but nothing beats the idea of like not being told you can't do that. Oh, that's not within our budget. And it's like, no, if you hire the right artist, the artist can be like, oh, let me mess around with this, see what I can come up with. And then that's the fun part is going back and forth, you know, with like, oh, well, what about this? What about that? And then from one idea that you wrote down, it could change to something just great and awesome at the end of it with the collaboration.
Yes. And the smaller the creative team, the better your vision is represented, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
It's a dance.
Yeah, man. Oh, Artida says, yeah, they're expensive. Some are well over $5 and not as good as the crowdfunded stuff I've been spoiled by. Okay. That is some good material.
Mm-hmm.
Indie has some talents, man. Right. Let's take a look at your comic shop. Let me see. I wasn't prepared. Share the screen, and then we go to the A Lucid Comic shop.
That's right.
Yes. There we go. Add to the stage. A Lucid Comic shop. Where does the name come from? A Lucid Comic shop.
Name?
A Lucid.
Yeah, the name A Lucid Comic is just something that at first I thought sounded cool, but the second thing was a lucid. You know, the word lucid is pretty much being. It's like someone being alert and aware and on. I guess the best way to describe the word lucid. Mm-hmm. And I like writing stories. Not only do I like writing stories of that nature, but I also love reading stories of like things that, I mean, obviously the story is the most important part of it. But if there's like little tidbits of things that involve like political discourse or social issues, whatever the case, and they sprinkle it in there. I like those kind of stories because it really does bring, especially if the writer does a good job and doesn't just pander. If they can approach it objectively as possible, like a situation or a scenario, whatever, and then provide a solid story behind that, then that's the kind of stories I like to write as well. And that's what, like for instance, Ghetto Dragon is obviously about gang warfare, ghetto poverty stricken, but the main story is about a martial artist who kicks ass. Right. So that whole social stuff is in the background, but the stories are always in the forefront. And like the moniker says there, the stories that take you to the edge. I like taking stories to the edge and make readers slightly uncomfortable of what they read, right. and get them to feel something. Because that's the main thing that's missing in my opinion in the corporate stream publishing, Marvel, DC, and etc., is that they have these cool high concept ideas, right? Mm-hmm. They have really good artists. They have writers that are very, what I call clever. They write these cool looking pages, but there's no emotional impact behind them. It's just like, look at what I can do. Look at this cool 2-page sequence. Right. And it is cool, but when you read it, you're like, okay, what was the point of that? Like, there's got to be a purpose behind why you decided to lay out this page this way, and so, I like my stories to have a little bit of edge, a little bit of heaviness to them, but not so heavy where it takes you out of the story. Just enough where by the end of it, you're left thinking about it and wondering, like, oh wow, I never thought of it that way, or I never would have approached it that way, and so on and so forth.
Sure. Yeah. Guys, I put the link to this site in the chat, so you can check out A Lucid Comic.
Check it out.
Shop. So when you say you kind of enjoy little sprinkles of social commentary or whatever, or critique, or so, does this mean that you kind of prefer or stick to stories that are set in the real world?
Yeah. Yes. Well, yes and no. It's personally, yes, for me. Okay. But as a consumer, I like it all. If I could connect with the characters, or if the story is compelling enough, I'll read a freaking epic sci-fi adventure that takes place in space and different planets. But I gotta connect with that character for me to enjoy it.
Sure.
And so that's the key thing for me. But for me personally, yeah, I like writing a little bit more grounded stories that have a flavor of like supernatural behind them, or like something that maybe, was that real? I don't know. Maybe like the whole question of like, is it real or is it not real? I like those kind of stories, right? And that's what the Asset 13 kind of plays at that. But Asset 13 wasn't my own creation. But the other stuff that I'm doing after this, then it's I go all out with that.
Okay, awesome. So Asset 13 is your latest creation, your newest book?
Yes. Asset 13 was again not created by me. It was created by another writer named Chris Hicks. Okay. And he wanted to make it into a movie. That was his idea. So he was looking for a writer to help him develop the story that he had. And so I've done a few work for hire jobs in the past. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I never written a horror story before, so this will be my chance to write one. And so I put my name in the hat, and then about a week later, he emailed me back. He interviews me via email, asking me questions, asking me what my film knowledge was, if I was a fan of John Carpenter, and of course all those were like yes, right? So it worked out. He hired me, and then he gave me the outline, and I helped clean up the outline. There's a lot of stuff in there that I cut out, that I moved around, and helped them clean up. And eventually it ended up being what the story is in the book. So then I wrote the screenplay. It was about, I won't say maybe like 90 pages of a 90-page screenplay, because his idea was to make it into a B movie horror. That was his idea. All right. So I wrote the script, did my job, got paid. I gave him the script. He went off to do what he had to do as a producer, slash director because he wanted to direct it as well. I went on, with my career, right, doing my own stuff, and then something happened on his end where he couldn't continue the project. He just let it go. He put it on the shelf, and then fast forward about a year, maybe 2 later, I'm cleaning out my old hard drive because I got a new one, so I'm transferring a bunch of stuff that I want to keep and getting rid of stuff that I don't need anymore. And I stumbled upon the screenplay of Acid 13. I was like, oh yeah, I remember I wrote this. Earlier we talked about time, right? How fast time goes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this project. So I read it again. And when I finished the screenplay, I was like, man, this was such a good story. I really am proud of this story. Like, I really like it. And so I was like, maybe I could adapt this into a comic book. I could pull it off. I told myself that I could pull it off. I wrote the story. I know I'm involved in it. So I don't need to. That's another challenge, right? I've never adapted a script from a screenplay to a comic book script. So that was going to be a challenge.
Yes.
So I contacted Chris, asked him, hey, look, man, I really love this story. I don't want to just leave it. Is it okay if I can make it into a comic book? And I'll take care of it. I'll manage it. I'll be the project manager of this thing. You don't have to worry about it. I'll take care of all that. And he's like, yeah, man, go for it. Do it. He gave me his blessings. And so I probably took me about a month to read the screenplay and adapt it into a combo script, and then it being about 70 pages. And I was like, I can't do 70 pages because that's out of my budget, way off my budget.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to cut it to 48 pages. So I went from 77 or so to 44 pages without destroying the foundation of the story. Mm-hmm. So once I was happy with the adapted the comic book script, I was about to put an ad out looking for an artist, whatever. I swear to you, Dave, the stars were aligned for me for this one because right the day before I was going, I was working on the ad, I was writing up, what I was looking for and all that stuff. I get a DM from Greg Warrenchak, who's the artist of this book, and he says, "Hey, I saw your page. I like what you're doing. I'm an artist. I'm looking for, if you're looking for a reliable artist, I'm your guy. Here's the link to my website. Check out my stuff. And then if you're interested, please, get back to me." And so I checked out his website, and I saw nothing but horror stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, this guy draws horror. Okay, wow. Okay, this is what are the odds, right?
Yes.
And so I'm looking at his website. I'm looking at his samples. I'm like, yeah, you know what? This guy might be able to pull off Acid 13. So yes. I reached out to him and said, hey, look, I saw your website. I like your stuff. And I did the same thing that Chris did to me, which is, are you a fan of the 80s slasher movies? And are you a fan of John Carpenter? And he responded with, dude, I love John Carpenter. He's my favorite director. So I was like, perfect. This guy is perfect for the job. So I pitched him the story. He said, I love it. And the rest is history, as they say.
That's a fantastic story. That's just, what do you call it? Serendipitous?
Serendipitous. It all worked out. And
yes,
I saw it as I couldn't ignore the signs. In other words, yes. I had to go with it, and I'm glad I did because it ended up working out really well. Greg, the artist of the book, is easy to work with. He just I'm sure you've experienced it yourself, Dave, considering that you're a writer and produce your own books too. When you work with some artists and you just don't jive with them, they do their job, right? They do their job, they deliver, they're good, but there's, for whatever reason, they just don't connect with your story, and they're giving you okay work, even though it's good. And then every once in a while you do find an artist that's like, oh, this guy we're here. We're in the same wavelength. And there's no need for me to explain it. He gets it. That's Greg. That was Greg for me. He and I were here. And so I didn't have to explain a lot of stuff to him. He just, I got exactly what you want. And he would just give me that. And that's how I got this cover. I say, hey, do me a cover. You already finished the book. Based on the story that I wrote, draw me a cover that looks like a good, like a movie poster from the 80s. And this is what he gave me. And I was like, dude, perfect. One time is a 3-point shot, swish.
Yes, fantastic. Welcome, Scribe Comics.
Scribe.
Welcome, sir. Mike says John Carpenter's a master with multiple classics. Julius, love the 70s and 80s films. Makes fun music now too.
Oh yeah, no, he's John Carpenter is like the Renaissance man now of independent films. He's the guy that I always look at as an inspiration because he has the spirit of the indie creator that we all should have, right? Which is, I'm not going to wait for permission. I have this story. I believe in it. I'm going to do it. And he goes and does it. And I love that. And that's what every indie creator should be doing. When you have a strong idea that you believe in, go for it. Don't ever second guess yourself. If you believe in it, go for it.
Yes. So you said you put this book up here because it was done, right? So this book is done. So this means the artist drew 44 pages already.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
That's
great. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
man.
there's no need. Here's the
wait. What's going on? Oh, you have a printed copy.
I have a printed copy. Yeah, it's ready to go. I'm happy with the printer. Oh,
okay.
There you go. And like I said, I'm ready to fulfill this coming week. So people who put in their orders will get their books soon.
That is great. So guys, you can go to this website. It's linked in the chat. It's also below, guys. You can find the links below. And all you need to do, right, is order it right here. Correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Order from the website directly. And you fill out the info that needed for me to send your books to you, and that's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And if you, I know that a lot of people are hurting because of the economy and what have you. But if you just join my Substack, my free Substack newsletter, you'll receive a discount code. It's going to be 15% off when you order your copy. Yeah, 15% off. And you get a free PDF of Asset 13, The Last Scene. Now, as a warning, not a bad warning, but the physical copy has a 14-page preview of the next project I'm preparing to release, and that's Samuel Zion, PI. So you'll receive a 14-page preview with the physical copy. However, for the PDF, the free PDF that you'll get if you sign up to my Substack, my free Substack letter, it's only the book. There's no 14-page preview of Samuel Zion in the PDF, only in the physical copy.
Okay, but you get your like discount on the physical book, right?
Yes, on the physical book. You get the free PDF if you sign up, and you get a 15% discount on the physical copy of the book.
Guys, I posted the link to Julius' Substack right now in the chat, so you can grab that discount.
And if you don't want to sign up to my newsletter for whatever reason, I get it.
Why would you do that?
Well, it's because sometimes you join a bunch of email lists, and your inbox gets flooded with emails, and I get that. So that's why today, right now, until the end of the show. Well, not until the end of the show. You can use it whenever you want. I'm going to offer what I call a live stream guest discount code, which is 10% off the purchase of the book if you don't want to sign up to my Substack newsletter.
Okay.
I sent you the code on the private chat, so you can share it with the chat. So if you're watching the show right now, you can get your 10% discount if you don't want to for whatever. I like giving readers choices. I'm an American, in America, it's all about liberty. It's all about choice. Give me the choice to pick whether I want this or want that. That's the America motto.
And this discount code goes for any purchase on your site?
Any purchase on this, well, for this specific project, Asset 13.
Okay. Discount code
for,
wait, I will put it in the chat right now. Asset 13. There we go. And then paste. This is the code, guys. So if you want 10% off, it was, right? Grab
10% off, yeah.
It's in the chat right now. All right.
That's it, guys. This code is good until June 9th. After June 9th, all the discount codes that I've offered, be it if you join, my Substack, or if you're watching the show now and you get that discount code, it's good up until June 9th. After June 9th, it's regular price.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
When we started, you were saying that you weren't like you had your crowdfunding campaigns and kind of failed because you weren't prepared. You didn't do the preparation work. You did the preparation work now, man. You're
I'm telling you, dude, it's night and day for me. This is my speed. I like this.
Yeah.
The speed of we and I were going back and forth about dates. It's so refreshing to just be like, hey, what about this? Yeah, that's fine. What about this date? That's fine too. Whereas if I was doing a crowdfunding campaign, that's not going to work for me because the campaign will end at this date and it won't make a difference after that. You know what I mean? So I like this instead because it's available right now. This version that I showed you, it's a total of 60, I think 64 pages with the preview at the end.
Okay.
And so once I get rid of these puppies, once I sell out of this print, because it's going to go back to just the book without the preview. So it'll be a 44-page print-on-demand book after the fact. And then after that, I'm going to start promoting Samuel Zion. And I'm really excited about Samuel Zion. I think it's some of my best work that I've done. And it's with the same artist, Greg Warrenchak, because after he completed Asset 13, I was like, I can't let this guy go. This guy is again, when you meet someone like this, you don't want to let them go. So then after we finished Asset 13, I asked him, hey, look, I want to keep working with you because I think you and I jive well, and I think you and I can create a lot of good stuff together. So then I pitched him Samuel Zion, and since it was kind of it's my my love letter to the old Doctor Strange and Hellblazer, but it's an added twist. It's my own take on this idea of like a mystic who's a demon hunter, but there's a catch to him being a demon hunter. I don't want to give it away too much because I want to save that for when I start promoting Samuel Zion. But see if you see the list there: Samuel Zion, Vigilant Fury, Reset Protocol, Ghetto Dragon. That's the order I'm going to start releasing these books when I'm ready to release them for my website.
That's crazy. Okay, that's awesome. Welcome, Will.
Hey, Will. How you doing?
Welcome. Yeah, that's so. This is Samuel Zion. That's a brand new thing, right? So
it's a brand new thing.
But Vigilant Fury, I know this is a familiar IP.
Yes.
So are you re-releasing it or something?
I'm not re-releasing it. It's going to be available on my website.
Okay.
So it's going to have a new cover. That's the new cover drawn by Robert Geronimo.
Okay.
And that's going to be the new cover of the book. And if you backed Vigilant Fury from Indiegogo years ago, it's not going to be in the same format that Gambino and I delivered to our backers. It's going to go back to the American size format because the version that we gave our backers was the manga size cut, 100-page book. And we love that. But it was something special just for the backers. So when we decided to release it for the store, I told them, look, we got to keep that book special for the backers because they were there at the beginning. They got the extra 20 pages of content that this version won't have. This version will only have the 80-page story, and that's it. There's no extra 20-page content. The old cover is just for them, so that way they have something that's their print run, special print run. And this one will be the quote-unquote mass-produced one based on the print on demand that I'm going to start using with them.
Okay. All right. Cool. And so then we have Reset Protocol. What is that?
Reset Protocol is another book I crowdfunded through Kickstarter and fulfilled that book. And this is my sci-fi story. Again, this is one of those things where I just had this story in my head. It just kept bugging me. And I'm sure you know the feeling when you have the story and it's just every day you wake up and it's like, come on, write me.
Yeah.
That's what Reset Protocol. And so Reset Protocol is my sci-fi tale about a space voyager who arrives to an advanced civilization to observe it in order to see if it qualifies to join the Galactic Federation, and he finds a dark secret underneath the fancy, beautiful landscape of this advanced civilization. And that's pretty much the story of it. I call it a sci-fi parable. That's what I call it.
Right. Yes. Yes. By the way, it seems to me these are all like complete stories, or do you also produce a series?
That was another thing that I had to think about during my hiatus was the question, right? The like what I mentioned earlier, we don't have the resources for monthly releases, right?
Yeah.
So then I started thinking, well, how can I, as an indie creator, be able to compete with that? And then I looked at the manga model and went, well, see, manga has volumes, right? They have book 1, book 2, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But they have also a consistent delivery. And that's what I realized. Okay, I need to find a consistent release model for me. And I think every indie creator should do the same thing. You should always try to figure out a consistent model for you to release books, be it every other month, every quarter, whatever. And so I thought, okay, my approach will be like this. I'm going to do books. I'm going to do a series, but not something that leaves you hanging and then you have to wait, X amount of time for the next one. It'll be a complete story with sprinkles of stuff that I'm going to mention in the next story, but it'll be complete stories, beginning, middle, end of one story. So that way the readers can enjoy a complete story. But if they notice the little things I added and they go, wait, you mentioned this during this story, does that mean the next book's going to have that? And then I could say, yes, it is. So stick around for the next book. And I'm hoping to keep a consistent release, schedule going forward. I'm aiming for every quarter. So every quarter is going to be a new book. So Samuel Zion goes first. And then if Samuel Zion does well, then I go back with Greg and we work on book 2. And the great thing about working with Greg is that he's very quick in his turnaround. He could provide a page a week, but if need be, he could do 2 pages a week. So he works really fast, and that's why I like working with him when it comes to comic book projects. So if we could get this ball rolling and helping me grow into a legit indie comic book publisher, I can have new books for you of Samuel Zion, and not only Samuel Zion, but all the stuff you see on the screen right now. I have an idea for Vigilant Fury. Gambino, the artist of the first Vigilant Fury, he and I were brainstorming the other day about the second book. Oh. And Reset Protocol, the same thing. I have other ideas for Reset Protocol, and of course, Ghetto Dragon. I have a long. I want Ghetto Dragon to be my foundation book. That's the one that I want it to be like. That's the book that represents A Lucid Comic the most. So that's why it's last, because I do want that to be a series.
What makes this book be like that you want to be your branding, or people think about you, they think about the Ghetto Dragon? Why?
It's the closest and the most personal for me. It's not only obviously it's a love letter to Bruce Lee movies and Hong Kong martial art movies that I loved growing up, but it also mentioning why I like certain books that have social issues and stuff in it. Mm-hmm. Ghetto Dragon is that story because I grew up in that environment. I grew up in the ghetto environment. Mm-hmm. And if you sign up to my Substack, I do have a series called Tales from the Ghetto, and those are stories, personal stories that I witnessed, observed, or heard about while growing up in a ghetto neighborhood up until I think it was 19 or 20 when I finally moved out of that neighborhood, and now I was able to move on up, as the song goes, right? So so it's the most personal, but also the most promising, because again, I don't put the social issue realities at the forefront. That's in the background. What I have in the forefront is Matt Guerra's story, which is the Ghetto Dragon, his story, his tale. That's what I'm going to focus on. And I have a lot of good stuff developed for that character. And I think a lot of people will be very happy with it once they get their hands on it.
Right. When you talk about it like this, it sounds like it's a pretty serious book. It means a lot to you, right? But when
Yes.
you see the cover and the concept, you think this is like a fun action like
Yes.
story, right? So
Yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
mixture of that.
It's a mixture of of a little bit of everything, because I like, I still, like I said, I have ideas for how he's going to fight, and I have like sequential images in my head that I could transfer into words. And if I and working with the artist of the series, again, the collaborative effort is the best thing about it, because then when they provide me thumbnails, I could look at the thumbnails and go, well, how about we try this? Because I like pushing the artists that I work with too. I like pushing them, like, don't be safe. Come on, have some fun here. This is a comic book. We don't have to work. We don't have to draw it like a storyboard. Let's push it. Let's make it where it's almost impossible for a TV or a movie studio to adapt it. Because those are my favorite comic books too. Is when you look at a page, like for instance, Swamp Thing. Alan Moore's Swamp Thing is one of my favorite series, not because of the content, it's mainly because of the way he approached sequentials. They're so out there that it's specific for the comic book, and it's impossible to adapt something like that into a movie. There's just no way to do it.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to approach when I write the newer stories. And Samuel Zion's the beginning of it. And then as I re-released the previous books that I've crowdfunded, and then when I get to Ghetto Dragon, then that will be the one I really push it.
Right. So you mentioned Alan Moore. So do you also write like him? Like, what's your scripting process like regarding the interaction with your artist?
I don't write like Alan Moore. Have you read an Alan Moore script?
I've seen pieces of it, yeah, and it's like crazy.
It's like
yeah,
panel one, and then there's this paragraph. I'm like, no, I don't write like Alan Moore. What I tend to do is I work with images in my head. So what I tend to do for my process is I actually own these like sketchbooks that I don't know. I went to the art supply store in my house, and they don't have them anymore. But back in the day, I'm like, oh, thank you, Comics. I appreciate that. Yeah, wait until you get the second one, man. Gambino and I are cooking up something really good for the second one. And there are these
Vigilant of Fury. Yeah, man. Sorry, man.
I don't have one near me here. I wish I had one near me. But there are these books where they're like thumbnail books for comics. Mm-hmm. And so what I do is I sketch out the panels. I sketch out the panels, and with stick figures, and go, okay, maybe this could do this angle. And then when I write the script, I don't put in the camera angles, because I like to let the artist, choose the camera angles. So what I do is I don't write it into camera angles. I just write the sequentials, the beat. That's what I'm more concerned about, the beat of every panel, and making sure that at the end of every page is a mini cliffhanger. So in other words, as much as Alan Moore was a huge influence on me as a writer and a creator, later in life, Jim Shooter played a pivotal role in helping me understand how to properly write a script for comics. And so ever since then, I followed Jim Shooter's model of like the end of every page should be a mini cliffhanger up until to the end, when you provide the reader the major cliffhanger, so to get them to come back for the next issue of the book. Mm-hmm. So that's my approach.
So did you say you draw like actual thumbnails of the page layout?
Yes.
Right. So, but you don't fill in the camera angles. So doesn't it suffice to like put it in the script? Like you have like 5 panels. In panel 1, this happens. Panel 2, this happens.
If I'm really set on, when I mentioned earlier about laying out a sequential scene, and if it's something like an emotional impact scene that I want, that I'm hoping to get from from the reader, then I tell the artist, I need you to draw it exactly the way I wrote it here in the script. But other than that, everything else I let the artist have their fun with it. But if there's like a specific thing I need, You know, I need this to be a splash. I need it to be a splash. It can't be anything else than this.
Yes.
Then I specifically write down the script. Please follow this to the T. And if they change it, I have to be not the jerk, but I have to become the indie creator who says, I'm sorry, man, I love this idea, but I need you to change it back. Like you have to trust me on this one. And that's thankfully I've worked with enough artists now that I've let them have their creative freedom so much that when I do ask for something specific, they're okay with it because I let them have fun for like the previous 10 pages.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes you have like key moments and they need to be very specific. I completely get that. Yes. That's fantastic. So you have your plan. You have your plan. By the way, look at this. Look at this move, guys. It's crazy. It's cool.
Yeah.
So you have your plan. You want to bring out a new book every quarter, right? You said
I'm gonna try every quarter. Yeah. So once Asset 13, like I said, once I run out of that inventory, then the next one is Samuel Zeon. And it's not I'm gonna ignore Asset 13. I'm still gonna promote Asset 13, but it won't be with the Samuel Zeon preview. It'll just be Asset 13.
Yeah.
And then of course Samuel Zeon and so on and so forth. So right now for Vigilant Fury, Gambino is he's I don't want to say redoing, but he's reshaping the size of the images right now currently, so that way when I get ready for the printers, it's ready for it's meeting their measurements and everything. And then once I get the proof, then that's when I'll start promoting that one as well, and then so on and so forth.
Right. By the way, how long does it take you to write these blurbs? I find this so difficult, right? Like capturing the essence of your comic book in a short little text that also makes you hope that people will.
Yeah. I have struggled with it too, man. You're not the only one. It takes me about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 5 drafts. 5 drafts of no, that still doesn't sound right. And I keep changing it. And I have to remind myself, okay, no more than this, no more than 3 sentences, got to keep it within 3 sentences.
Yeah.
And so it takes me about 3 weeks with 5 drafts to get something as close to, I guess, compelling as possible before I posted it. So it took me a while. It took me a while to write those blurbs.
And it's really cool that you have your own store, your own site, your own thing going on. You're not dependent on crowdfunding systems, although you are missing the crowdfunding vibe,
Yes.
That's a sacrifice you have to make to do this, right?
Yeah.
So you have to navigate people towards your own website, right?
Right.
Or your Substack or whatever, which can be challenging sometimes, but this is how you do your branding, how you need to. People need to know you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So, guys, the link to all of that is below this video. So there's a link tree. You can find all the links. And don't forget the discounts. So you have a discount code in the chat for 10% discount on this book right here. Tell me if I got it wrong, but this book right here, Asset 13, you can get this one. Or subscribe to Julius Substack for 50% discount plus a free PDF, correct?
That's right. That's correct.
I got it all correct. Fantastic. All right. That's great. Guys, go follow Julius. Go follow his career, his books. He's producing cool stuff, indie works, new stuff. Which is the cool thing about the indie scene. You have something for everyone, right? We have so much variety, so much cool stuff. Which brings me to my own thing. I need to bring up for a moment, guys. Share this page. This is the pre-launch page for my upcoming campaign. I'm still running campaigns, so the upcoming campaign for Safeguard, the first issue of Safeguard. I'm making this together with the legendary Alan Goldman, guys.
Awesome.
The first book is called Pandemonium. So these heroes of Safeguard. If you read the Perfect 10 series, you will know these characters, right? If not a problem. You don't need to read this series to follow this series. It's completely new story, its own thing, right? But yeah, fantastic art, fantastic story. It comes with several covers. So we have this cover A by Alan Goldman himself.
Nice.
It's beauty. It's so good, guys. So this is like 100% superhero awesomeness. If you like 90s superhero, action-packed, cool action stuff with colorful characters and crazy powers and heroes and villains, this is your thing, right? So and Alan Goldman is the perfect artist to draw this series. And of course we have Paul Rodriguez. I love Paul Rodriguez's art. This is why I continue to work with him. So he drew the complete series of Perfect 10, all 6 issues plus some other books I made with him. He's fantastic to work with, and so he had to make the cover B for this particular release, right? And then we have the back cover, also drawn by Pau with the villains.
Wow,
so
that's a cool one. I like that. I like that one.
I know, man. I created brand new villains specifically for this story, for this series, right?
I like that guy in the back. That's great. That's a good looking dude.
With
the one with the cape.
Yeah,
yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like that character back there.
Cool, man, cool. Yeah, you will get to know all of them in this book. So it's a lot going on. You have like all these heroes, all these villains, but it all works. It all works, guys. It's really cool. And we have a brand new cover, which is this one, a wraparound, which will be on this.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So go get notified. I will put it in the chat, guys. It's also in the links below. Paste. So I put it in the chat right now. So please go get notified. Also share it out, please. So share it out to on your social media. And I have something else that I also worked on. I will show you right here, which is on FundMyComic right now, which is the Crossbones crew. I was hired by Mr. Seth Engelhardt to write the story for his book. So this is the first comic that he made, that he wanted to produce. And I got to work with these public domain characters, which is fantastic, which was really awesome. And
Yeah,
it takes
cool.
place. It takes place in like war times and with pirates. And so I had a lot of research to do. It was very challenging, but very much fun to do, right? So and so he gave the cover by Josh Howard. He drew the cover, really fantastic. And then the interior art is by Joel Souza, which gives it this cartoony feel, which fits really well. This is a all ages book, right?
Oh, cool. Very nice.
Yes. We need more of that.
Is this your first all ages story you've written, or you've written others in the past?
I think this is my first one. I might have written others without really knowing it, because I don't really pay attention to that. But this, I actually minded the fact that this was intended for
Nice. Did you find it easier or more fun, or a bit more labor inducing, considering that you have to catch yourself? Like that maybe might be a little too dark. Maybe I need to rewrite this scene here or there. Or did it come easy for you?
No, it didn't really. Once I got into that mindset, it was very easy. The biggest challenge here was like doing the era correct and the timeline and
okay.
But regarding the age that it's geared towards, there was no problem, no challenge at all.
Oh, nice. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, and I added this little cat. So I told Seth, this crew needs their own cat, because they used to have cats on pirate ships, to because they had rats and stuff like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Right. Yeah, you're really proud of this, guys, and I want this campaign to be successful so I can make new issues. So please back this. I will put this also in the chat right now. So there you go. So thank you all so much. I will stop sharing now. All right, let's see if I missed any comments. Mike says, "Woo! First January wraparound cover. Back those assets." Yes, thank you, Mike. It's Tim, underused character. Yes, I got to use him. You will see more of Timmy. All right, Julius. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'd like to come back on. I'll be able to come back on because I'll just have the website and new books to release when I'm ready.
Yeah, absolutely. So if all goes well, you'll be here 4 times per year.
Yeah, hopefully that's the goal. That's the goal.
All right, man. I wish you the best of luck. A lot of success with your books and with your new website. Your store, guys, go support Julius. Go share it with other people, right? Let's get this. Let's get A Lucid Comic Productions, right?
Yes.
Let's get it known so people know it. All right. Mike says, "Thank you for another enjoyable drink with Brink. All panel and chatters have a good week." Thank you, Mike.
Likewise.
Thank you so much. All right, Julius, thank you, and a special thanks to the chat, for everyone who showed up today, for your interaction, your commentary, your questions, and for your likes. So if you liked this conversation, give it a like. If you didn't like the conversation, give it a dislike, and I'm sorry.
We'll do better next time.
Yeah, we'll try better next time. Next week, I'll be here with Pops. So Pops will be live from a convention, so we'll be doing something special. So I hope to see you guys then. In the meantime, have a fantastic week and see you all next time. Bye.
See you guys.